Hello everyone! I know that I promised that the previous video would be the last one of this crash course, but you must be aware of the spread operator before moving on with the course. We'll look at how we can expand arrays and objects with the spread operator. This will come in very handy once we start implementing Redux into our application, which is many sections away, but it's probably best if you learn it now. Alright, so let's talk about the spread operator. In this course, you're going to see the spread operator, and you're always going to see it behind an array or a collection of objects. Essentially, anything you can iterate through, anything you can loop through, that's where you'll see the spread operator. You can even use it with strings, but we're not going to do that in this course. We'll just focus on how it's used with arrays or objects. Alright, so we'll start this tutorial off with just arrays. So declare two arrays. Const names is going to equal John, Bill, and Sam. Some very common names here. And we'll declare another array. Const more names is equal to William, Paul, and Mike. Boy, I am not creative with names at all. Okay, so how can we use the spread operator on these two values? Why would we? Well, let's start with our array. What the spread operator will do is it will take every single element from our array and it expands an array into its elements, destructuring the array such that the elements appear individually. So if I were to start off by console.logging names as it is, I'm going to open up my terminal and npm run build. Forgot to save this. Okay, let's give her a try. And it prints out a normal boring array. Just a collection of elements. However, if I had the spread operator right before this array, what do you think happens? Let's rerun the app. npm run build. Forgot to save this. Alright, and notice how it expands an array into its elements. The brackets are gone, it's not in the structure anymore. It spreads it. So how can something like this be useful? Well, what if I told you, okay, from these two arrays, I want you to combine them. And between the two arrays, I want a string that says geo. So essentially what I want to accomplish is this. Have a resulting array that says John, or you know what? I'm just going to copy and paste them. No point in writing them out. John, Bill, Sam, and in between these two arrays, let me copy that. In between these two arrays, I want the value geo. But I also want to concatenate everything into one array. How would we do this with ES5? So what we'll do is we'll do it the old-fashioned way at first. We'll write let all names is equal to an empty array. And to that array, we'll concatenate this array. That's how we'll start this off. By writing all names is equal to all names dot concat, we're going to concatenate names. So what we're doing is we're appending all of the contents of this array into this one. Whenever you want to add another array to an existing one, you would use concat. So right here in this line, this array has values John, Bill, and Sam. Alright, then right after, we want to add in the name geo. So to append a string into our array, you would then write all names dot push geo. And now the array has values John, Bill, Sam, and geo. Okay, then after that, we'll concatenate the contents of this array. So all names is equal to all names dot concat more names. And now we have the value that we need, this one right here. Now let's go ahead and console.log it, just so that we can see this. Console.log all names, save your file, rerun the build, npm run build, and we get John, Bill, Sam, Gio, Will, Paul, and Mike. Now this is a huge mess. Already my code feels a bit too long. What if there was an easier way? Well, thankfully there is the spread operator, which allows us to do all of this in a single line of code. So let's go ahead and delete this and comment all of this out so that we can compare and contrast. And let's do this the ES6 way. So write const all names. Notice how this is a const because we're not going to be overwriting its value. And all right, we'll set this equal to an array, just an empty array. And what we could do is actually spread the contents of this array right onto this one by simply putting our array inside of this one, and then add the spread operator, like so. This expands our array. It destructures it and spreads its elements onto the new array. And now after the contents of John, Bill, and Sam, we can simply add Gio right here. Cool. So these are pretty much individualized elements inside of a new array. They're not in a collection anymore. And right after these three elements, we're adding a fourth element of Gio. And guess what? After Gio, we can just spread the contents of this array. More names. Names for everyone. All right. And now we can simply console.log all names. Let's check out our terminal. npm, oh, forgot to actually save this. npm run build. And we get the same result. John, Bill, Sam, Gio, Will, Paul, and Mike. Notice how much more concise this is. In the Redux section of this course, we'll be using the spread operator with both arrays and objects. All right, now I promise it is finally time to work on React. I'll see you then.